सलाम मेरे अजीज पंखों।
Are you hungry? Do you want me to bring something for you? They gave a small shake of his head. Now, his brother-in-law, yes, on the tip of his tongue as his fried with stupid nervousness. Although they had met Jin a few times, he still found it inappropriate asking him for food while he was all dressed up and sitting in his supposedly new room on the first night of his wedding. Moreover, they did not want his husband to see him for the first time while they felt like an embarrassment that would be yet. Definitely no. You don't need to be nervous there, Jin chuckled as he saw the new bride lost in the thoughts. Oh, no, Hyung, I'm not nervous. It's fine. I understand. On a wedding day, it's normal. You'll be fine once you get to know Jungkook. Jin, his husband's older brother, sat beside him and, adjusting his dress, get to know. They nearly shoved at those words. The man didn't even have enough time to meet his fiancée. He was barely done with his house job when his father, that his old friend, asked him for his hand in marriage for 33-year-old son, a man was almost 9 years older than him. It was started would be an understatement, but his father has said that he was self-made a man to spend all his life building a massive empire. His business was spread in several countries, that central being in Turkey. His father never forced it to be bait sure to tell that Jungkook was a good person and responsible. He had always wished for such man for Taehyung. He couldn't lie. He was handsome, way handsome, or could call a damn model. They wondered why he was not married yet. They had especially take that sweet time explored the Instagram handle. This man was famous. To be wonder, all the posts were business related and a few formal. They didn't find it around with any woman. Good, they had thought, and just like that, they approved for the proposal. Why, you asked? He was hot and rich. Never mind, it was because his father was satisfied and they knew he would always make the best decision for him. It was afterward that they discovered what they threw himself into. His husband to be was an extremely busy man, so busy that he could not even appear on the engagement. Not even once he had tried meeting his fiancée. He was on business trip. They had been extremely worked up from the news. Not only that, they had instant personality. That's why he was never smile in his pictures found over the internet. They explained to meet him to get to understand each other's little before he got tired in a second bond. Seems he was interested and they had not even affect himself because he was not giving clingy vibes. So here, he was today dressed up in breathtaking a dress sitting in extremely soft and luxury bed as his wife. Taehyung, huh? They peeped to find Jin smiling at him with his 2-year-old son in his arm. Now, what are you drinking? Drink this. Jin forwarded a glass of juice toward him, and Taehyung held in, responding with a thank you. Relax a bit. You must be tired for all that rituals. Jungkook will be here in a few seconds. He informed him Taehyung could only give the thoughtful man a mere smile. His eyes followed him. He left the room not before telling Tae where his belongings were supposed to be. He took a sip of fruit juice and released a breath. The exact aroma of implored, exotic flower hit his nostril and they found himself loosen up a bit. They looked around and the only portrait he could glimpse the room was fancy. Oops. Language down. They clicked his tongue and focused on the eyes on the classic artwork. Around him, there was a vase walking in the glass closet to left with a massive fancy mirror on the right. The dark curtains complementing grey textured wall. The man was earning dollars. They could help but snicker, quickly finishing his juice he plated On the nights ran and adjust himself to meet the man he was dreamed to live with the entire life with. 10 minutes. They were sure it was more than that. There was no sign for that occupied man. The floppy mattress was calling him to a slumber nap. But they had to endure. How? How much more? They groaned, closing his eyes. A minute passed and they decided to explore the room before he arrived. Shuffling off from the bed and they had his dress in his hand and walked to attend a part of their room. A study. It was a study, he said, and ahead and saw a table with a few chairs around it, probably for eating. They were just going through the shelf, and the sound of door unlocking unplayed his ear and they swept. Ripped to his perfect agenda to look that perfect bride. Never mind. They twisted his finger. It was with a man they had never met, who never spoke to, never was in the bounds of his shoes. Husband. Taehyung. He's your husband. They tugged his brain when intense call made him freeze. Taehyung. It was almost a murmur, but his heart fluttered. His voice was too hard. Clean your brain, Taehyung. Taehyung. They heard him open another door. They still could not bring himself to step into the room. Stop being a coward, they wailed, and closing his eyes, taking a step forward, he bumped into someone and jerked up in surprise. They heard the rumble in the powerful guts at his nostril. Taehyung. His eyes shot open and took a step back, seeing the wall build a man in front of him. He was huge, very. He stood a good few inches taller than they. His shoulders were wide. The black suit he wore definitely be bulking muscle, a gym person. The eyes wandered, his jaw, and they clubbed. It was very blue, even for trimmed shelter he had. Then they eyes shot up at his, and they almost winced when his eyes were so fascinating. Long lashes, admiring the orbs. It looked even better in person. The picture did a little justice to him. He was so shocked that he could not bring himself to react that, and gasped at the freak. Oh, yes, I'm Taehyung. They mumbled as he saw the amusement wash aside. Way to embarrass yourself, Taehyung. They clicked his tongue at what he let out. He knew he is Taehyung. Who else was going to be there in the room on their wedding night? I know you're Taehyung. Jungkook asserted eyed the little beauty in front of his eyes. They barely reached his chest, dressed in a freaking heavy dress. I wonder how was even standing in that. His gaze roamed over his detail as they shut his eyes and clicked his tongue, almost looking to him. Although they had makeup on, he could tell they was beautiful. Too beautiful. He had seen the picture of they before, but he did not pay attention that much. He had an issue going on office so could not come to meet him. Not that he was planning to anyway. He just wanted to get married. That was all. Jungkook saw the picture. Eyes to her emotion in channeling through his nerve. They had freaking. And the expensive eyes. He could tell that they were surprising by his amber eyes. That was not the reaction he was expecting for him. He had predicted that he must be sitting on the bed like the typical bride, with his head down low. The boy is in front of him just an checkout for his body. He will not have creeped out that it was another person, but unknowledgely, it didn't mind him knowing that. His conscious, confident, how creepily he was at they too. Getting hacked was not part of the plan. He had always been passionate about the work and only work. Never had been through a sitting in his life, not his own, but mother had eventually forced him to marry, that too with a boy who was 9 years younger than him. Still, recalling his mother on about being a lifeless, boring man who was what dies singer, His parents had a love marriage, and their mother always wished for him to find a boy, echoed just like his father did, but he never paid attention to anyone. His only priority was work, and that when his mother has intense before he lost the charming. According to him, there was going to be a perfect boy for him. Seeing him in front of him, that made him ponder for a moment. It was little perfect thing for him. It was just looking over the room. He heard his tiny whimper. His sweet voice started for him for a second. It was smoothing, just like his lovely features. He had seen the nervous boy in his life in front of him, adapting something unique. Maybe because he was his wife now. His wife. Yeah, a wife he didn't want. He remained it, and I thought he closed it, ignoring it for a moment. And the word he spoke. I thought Jin Hyun took you somewhere. No. Timamo, what should he say?